If your joints are in absolute tatters from jiu-jitsu, then you are not the only person that suffers from this. Every single person on the mats has had joint issues before, right? But it puts them at a crossroads instantly. Every person that has this issue is at a crossroads. They either choose to blame something external to them, or they choose to blame themselves, right? So, this video, I'm going to be talking about mindsets in which you need to have when you have fucking joint issues from jiu-jitsu, if you want to stay on the mats for the rest of your life. What I'm going to be covering specifically today is how to prioritize your biggest problems and slot them into your training week, whether that's your knees, your elbows, your shoulders, your lower back. How to improve your energy to make sure this shit is as reduced as possible, and how to improve your body's ability to recover, because recovery is very important. And if you are very terribly recovered, you're just going to be very likely to have mishaps on the mats. So, for those that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Paul Green and I am an angry, hairy, bald guy. I'm a former British paratrooper and Special Forces support group operator. I am the head of performance on the longevity program in which I coach grapplers that have all kinds of crazy issues. However, the approach is always the same. Find the weakest area. Prioritize the weakest area instead of running from it. Get them strong, get them resilient, get them athletic, and get them operationally ready for some very arduous things. I'm a purple belt myself. I've got 7 years of grappling experience. And yeah, let's get cracking. Right. For those of you that have watched my videos, I talk extensively about the 1.0 grappling creature mindset. And we all have this. This is the enemy within us all, right? So, you might think that I'm talking specifically to your soul. The only thing I'm talking to is a part of your brain. The fact that that part of your brain has infected your soul is because you have chose to listen for years. So, when I say all these mindsets that are 1.0 creature mindset and they are unproductive, I'm not specifically speaking to you as a person. I'm speaking to a mindset within you. And all it needs is a little reframe and you could be on your merry way to a life of fucking thriving. Okay. Can you continue to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and forget about the pain? Right. There was a quote that I read a few months ago when I was in Austin, and it said something like, listen to your body when it whispers, do not wait until it screams. Now, pain is information, not inflammation. Pain is information. We must use that pain as a guide. The problem is, the 1.0 creature within us all is thinking about survival within that second. So, if pain is information, taking painkillers kills information. Compression gear, anti-inflammatories, we're going to kill the blood flow and the information as well. I'm talking specifically to things that every single person thinks about doing when they have sore joints, when they have injuries. Supplements, ice, further reducing inflammation. Trying to improve the health. Supplements, like for omega-3 or collagen, trying to improve the health of the joint, right? Also, the creature within us will feel sorry for themselves because their knee hurts, so they're going to make more emotionally led decisions. Remember, instantaneous, quick fix, reactive. Getting a tub of ice cream down your neck because you've hurt your elbow on the mats. It's just part of a pattern. It doesn't matter if you're addressing an injury, you're doing this. If you're hungry, you're going to eat whatever's biscuits and cakes are available to you. Because you haven't prepared. It's all a lack of preparation. This is a lack of preparation. This is a lack of preparation. This is a lack of preparation. Recovery. The 1.0 creature mindset, the grappler that thinks about recovery, is the person that just goes, yeah, I have a protein shake after training, that's as good as it gets. And prioritise everything other than sleep. Like, listen, every one of us wants to listen to this voice in our head, and I call it the enemy within us all, because it is. But if we do, we are killing information. And we are killing blood flow by doing all of this. We are eating with our emotions instead of fueling high performance, so we don't ever have consistent energy. Our version of prioritizing recovery extends to a protein shake or maybe an ice bath or a sauna. Again, something external to us. Every single one of these should give you an opportunity to look in the mirror. Right? Continue to do BJJ and forget about the pain. Right? Look in the mirror. Do you blame yourself? Look in the mirror. Can you blame yourself? 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 All of these things. The downward spiral that comes from this is something's great, something's terrible. In and out of surgery, arthritic symptoms, developing into worse arthritic symptoms, chronic arthritis, stem cell. The amount of money that this mindset is going to cost you is going to be absolutely insane, right? And it's not even the money's not even the worst part. It's the time that you're going to lose. If you're getting free healthcare service, I don't know whether Canada or UK or Australia or wherever you are in the world, it's this mindset here. What's the next thing that can help me? I know what can help you. The mirror. Blaming yourself instead of pointing the finger saying, I need to get this, I need to get this, I need to get this. No. The reason for your issues, right? Yes, we're all doing a complex martial art. That is a combat sport. People are trying to break your joints into pieces. In training, yes, it's more sensible. In competitions, there are some serious bad intentions there. Injuries are inevitable. They're inevitable in every single person that does this martial art, and they will happen. However, what we do when these issues start to arise is so important, arguably the most important thing you could ever learn from this channel. So, what's next? What's the next industry secret? Can we use AI in order to help? What they're going to tell us to do? I need a different program. I need a different modality, or I need a completely different goal. It's all the same pattern. It's the need for change, the need for hormones, whether it's food, different program because you're bored, the different goal, high rocks instead of bodybuilding. All of these things is just erratic. It's all up and down, adding to that roller coaster, painkillers, acupuncture, roller coaster continues, all the same shit. It's a pattern, it's mindset. The mindset is in tatters. So you're doing all of these things that adds to the roller coaster. They literally could be about 5 to 10 different roller coasters going on. Up and down, up and down, up and down. One is weightlifting, changing programs every session, changing your exercises every session, changing your rep ranges every session. Your food is another one. Your recovery, your sleep, what you spend, how you have fun in your life. All of this stuff is just carnage, right? And the foundation of it all is mindset, right? So what the hell does the 2.0 grappler do? How does he sort this shit out? How does he sort this mindset out? Well, for first and foremost, the 2.0 grappler is all about growth and development, right? So they're going to use pain to guide the priority, right? And specifically what I mean by this is if they have a sore knee, they are going to train their knees specifically more than any other joint that week until it's no longer a problem. So they view an area of concern as a weaker area and they prioritize the weaker area to no longer make it a weaker area. Now think about this in 10 years' time. Your shoulder, for whatever reason, becomes the weaker area. The 2.0 grappler just goes, okay, I'm going to use this as a period to really develop my shoulder strength. Do you know what I mean? So there's ultimate growth mindset and there's ultimate accountability. They are blaming themselves. They're taking ownership of that problem. They're not pointing the finger and saying acupuncture. They're not pointing the finger and going, oh, that physio is good. That small time thinking, oh, what sports therapist is really good? Or what's that masseuse? Who's that masseuse that no. The 2.0 grappler, when the information comes in, which is this, they instantly think, they look at themselves in the mirror and go, what can I do about this? What they can do about this is say straight away, this is a weaker area. I need to prioritize this. And specifically as part of their training week, you prioritize something by doing it more than any other thing that you do that week. The 1.0 grappler prioritizes jiu-jitsu even with this information. The 2.0 grappler will prioritize the issue. And then the grappling will come second to that. The 1.0 grappler focuses on pain reduction, whereas the 2.0 grappler doesn't really care that much about pain because the pain is a response to a root cause issue that usually needs strengthening. 2, 3, 4 times per week. Sometimes you can get away with training a certain joint every single day or 5 to 10 times per day. Most of you probably haven't even trained a joint that is sore ever in your lives. But the 2.0 grappler goes, hold on a minute. It's not going to get strong if I'm just sat with my compression gear and my ice and my medication. Proactive, not reactive. They are always doing stuff to improve their physical capabilities. Their energy is guided by meals, meal planning. They've got structure. They've always got energy. So most of their day is plain sailing. They're in doing mode. They're never caught off guard or rarely ever caught off guard and are forced to react. They have got enough energy to just continue executing everything that they need to do in a day. They don't need to go, oh, I need this. Oh, I'm hungry. They're not hungry. They have set times when they eat. They have set times when they train. They have set times when they eat food. They know what they're eating. They know that food makes them feel amazing, gives them high energy, high performance. So they just keep that going. Why would they want to change something that works really well? For recovery, they understand and appreciate that the best form of recovery is sleep. All of these other methods like massages and protein shakes and protein bars, everything is pointless unless this happens. You don't need to do stretching, you don't need to do yoga, you don't need to do a cool down, you don't need to do warm-ups. If this is not happening, it counts for fuck all. The 2.0 grappler is focused and doesn't change his mind every couple of months. He doesn't need a different training session to stimulate how lack of exciting the session is. He just knows that this is the best thing that I can do to develop this physical capability. I am going to do this to a very high standard as often as I can recover from in a week. And that's what this comes down to. So what I would recommend, depending on severity or, I'd recommend you starting out on 2 times per week, then increasing it to 3, then increasing it to 4. But again, if you've got any specific issues, drop them in the comments below and we can talk specifically about them. Or if you want me to help you with your issues on a one-to-one basis, the link is in the description to work with me. The real difference, and it's not for a lack of tactics, because the 1.0 grappler is using a lot of tactics as well, just like the 2.0 grappler. However, the 1.0 grappler tactic for feeling a little bit a little bit annoyed and stressed The 1.0 grappler is having a fucking tub of ice cream, whereas a 2.0 grappler is going for a walk, listening to a podcast. The main difference is mindset, right? And yes, there's a lot of layers to these mindsets, but it's simply just taking one, reframing it, and telling yourself that exact fucking thing multiple times a day, because you tell yourself that it's all right to have a fucking cake. It's all right to have a cake. Seen the size of you? It's not all right to have a cake. Why would you do that to your body is what the 2.0 grappler says. This is fucking poison. I want energy and high performance on a regular basis. You're doing it, you're just doing it in a negative way. It's not for a lack of tactics. The only difference is mindset difference. And this is what separates the best people in the world to the average people, or the people that are trying to be the best in the world. It's all about mindset. It's all about personal standards. The 1.0 grappler hasn't got any personal standards. The 2.0 grappler has high personal standards. They have high sense of purpose. They have self-respect. Fundamentally resulting in the 1.0 grappler creature being in survival mode, because they're listening to their survival brain. The fight or flight, they're listening to that brain, and that brain is now dictating their life. They can only get past thinking about the next few days, maximum. They do well to think about next week, next month. They can never bring themselves to think about next year or the person that they're going to be in 12 months' time. They can't do that because they're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you cannot see beyond the next few days. The 2.0 is in this for the long haul, constantly improving his physical capabilities, and doesn't really have an end state. But one thing the 2.0 grappler does is every 12 months, they're looking at themselves long and hard in the mirror and asking themselves, have I improved my character over the past 12 months? So then for the 2.0 grappler, it becomes 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, all while poor little creature listening 1.0 grappler is still in survival mode, still on that fucking roller coaster of emotional eating, emotional medication, emotional rehab, ChatGPT, jumping on a different program, different machine, different gym, acupuncture, all of that. It's a pattern, and it's a behavioural pattern, and it can be very easily changed. The choice. Disconnected from your joints, 1.0, talked about that. Creating a disconnection, medication. You're killing the information and you're killing the healing. Disconnected. You are running from the injury. You are running from your biggest weakness. You are running from the area of your body which is providing you the biggest concern, and hoping that it all goes away, or hoping that somebody else will fix it. The 2.0 remains connected because he's not taking chemicals. And he runs towards it with aggression because he welcomes the challenge of a developmental opportunity. The focus required to overcome that. This is a mindset required for somebody that wants to thrive for decades, on and off the mats, not just survive until they are black belt. Gentlemen, that is it from me. That's my program. And I'm done. If you enjoyed the video, happy days. Subscribe to the channel. If not, see you tomorrow.